Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. I know that you've had lunch, but you have to be awake. It is my absolute pleasure to be here this afternoon amongst, yes, my fellow distinguished panelists, but also so many women across Jamaica, across companies, across civil society that are making a difference in just absolutely incredible ways. And notwithstanding the fact that we have made such advances in Jamaica, I know that because of the same cultural differences that Delia spoke to, we grow in, that in each day when we go to work, in each day when we're with our families, we're faced with preconceived ways of being, of how we should be. And so I am just extremely, extremely happy that you took the time today to be here with us. So you can look at how to expand, how to get stronger, how to work together. So, I had a PowerPoint, but technology has failed. If it comes up, we can follow along. I'm going to proceed, okay? Well, my topic is about unplanned mentors, the power and impact of unofficial mentors. And I have to tell you, when I was preparing for the series, the speaker series today, I sat and thought about the topic. Unplanned mentors. Unplanned mentors. It clearly raises the question on unplanned versus planned, right? I mean, planned means those who we target as mentors. So I've been reflecting on my life. The people I have met, those who have impacted me, thought about some of the books I've read, and a section of actually Sheryl Sandberg's book came to me, Lean In. And a part of it was really on point, I thought, around planned versus unplanned mentors. And the section talks about a book, a children's story, called Are You My Mother? Has anybody read Are You My Mother? Okay, I want to recap the story very quickly. A little bird, a mother bird, who's sitting on her egg, and the egg is moving, it's about to actually hatch, right? And the mother says, okay, my baby's coming, let me go get some food. She then flies away, and it happens that nature occurs and the egg hatches. The bird is like, where's my mother? Let me go find my mother. So it tips out, and she drops to the ground and begins walking. She comes across a kitten and says, are you my mother? Comes across a dog, says, are you my mother? Of course the animal says, no, I'm not your mother. She then comes across, I think, a crane and says, are you my mother? There's obviously no response, because the crane can't speak. But the crane lifts up. Aha, technology's working now. Next slide. The crane lifts up the little birdie and actually ends up depositing her back into the nest, where her mother, having gotten the food, returns. Incidentally, when the little bird was actually walking around looking for her mother, she passed her mother. Didn't know it was her mother. So why do I tell you this story? The fact of the matter is that when we go around, next slide, go around asking people to be, can you be my mentor? Can you mentor me? It's almost akin to, are you my mother? And let me tell you why I say it. Because mentorship, in a real way, emerges out of synergy, emerges out of chemistry, and you build in a real way. And that's where the unplanned mentor emerges. So the mother, who has that synergy with her child, can you go back? Thank you. Who has that synergy with her child, in fact, was her unplanned mentor, but in seeking outside, you sometimes block from what you have in front of you. And when you think about who people typically tend to ask to be their mentor, typically people who have made it and are very busy. So can you imagine asking a busy person, can you be my mentor? Most times the answer is what? No. And not because I would love to, but I can't. Not because I don't want to, but because the capacity to do so is not there, and also the connection. Next slide, please. So let's think about it now, ladies and gentlemen, because this goes for both genders. An unplanned mentor are the inspiring people who are already interacting and working with you. Already. The unplanned mentors are the people to whom you have already demonstrated your potential. They know who you are, how you think, how you communicate, and how you contribute. They see your contribution. The unplanned mentors, like trust and believe in you already. People are all human, right? So we talk about connection. To invest the time with somebody, it's about feeling that connection. And it doesn't mean you can't develop mentorship relationship with other people, but it takes a particular process of building that connection. And let me tell you, the unplanned mentor, they need to believe with absolute certainty that you put to great use all the input and feedback that they'll give you. That is so key, because in giving the time, giving their thoughts, their advice, you have to use it. Not carte blanche, but to really engage with it. So, to me, I look at the unplanned mentor as an approach around one, divine interventions, yes, beauty of chemistry, and of course, intention. How do we come to it as people, as human beings? So for my unplanned mentors, I mean, I really thought about, and this was really beautiful, and I thank Delroy for the opportunity to look back at my life and to call my unplanned mentors and thank them. Because really truly, they would never call themselves my mentor. I have never called them my mentor, but they are my unplanned mentors. So, just some of them, because I've had a lot. And let me tell you something. There was a book I read when I was 18 years old called The Celestine Prophecy. Fabulous book. It talks about spirituality and a way of engaging with the universe. So we always see ourselves as children of God, as a community, and there's a line that says, everybody you meet, every single person you meet has a message for you. You getting that message is dependent on whether you're listening. That requires us to be present. And that is actually where you really come upon the unplanned mentors and the advice that people give you. And that's the opportunity to then build relationship and establishing mentorship. So, for me, my mother, Imani Duncan, she's the first person that came to mind. And I think, people expect, well, mothers are always mentors. No. We mothers have to own the fact that we are in a powerful position to be our child's mentor. And being a mentor doesn't always mean giving them easy advice. It means giving them tough talk sometimes and sticking to it. And our children, hopefully, will be recipients and possibly receive the message. But that for me was how my mother was for me. Always be an advocate for my growth opportunities. So as women here, whether we have children biologically or not, whether we have nieces or nephews, are you being an advocate for your child? Because that's the opportunity. It starts in our community. I then thought about Katie Stewart. Katie Stewart, let me tell you, I went to Campion College, and this teacher, I was in sixth form, and the teachers, you guys have the power. You have so much power. I really hope today that you're inspired to re-engage and use it even more powerfully, Because I know you already stand already for you girls here and the boys at school, but be reinvigorated, please. Because my teacher, sixth form, imagine now, I met her through doing lots of activities at Campion. Golden Age Home, from an environmental club, various types of social activities. I was very much about giving back. And that's important. You have to, they just see you as contributing. Are you volunteering? Are you holding up your hand? Are you speaking? Are people seeing, having a chance to see who you are? To see your heart? I saw her heart and she saw mine. And she took the time to not only have me watch certain movies, like To Start With Love, Mr. Holland's Opus, movies with message, reference books to me in terms of C.S. Lewis and about Christianity. And questioning, not dogmatic, but questioning, allowing me to shine and to emerge as a human being. Now, I could have turned down that intervention or that openness, but I was listening to the message. I was present. And that was when, very important, I was able to actually teach at Camden for one. I taught math. And it was scary. I as an 18-year-old, who don't like math, by the way, right? But because it was important for life, I said, I'm going to go and help and support some students in learning. But she guided me every moment I was unsure, but reinforcing that you can do it. You know? So we have to be brave, open, and listen. The other mentor that stuck out to me, wow, is Omar Davies. He's currently a minister in government. At the time, I did not know him. I was at Harvard, and he came to give a talk as Minister of Finance, and I was like, I have questions for him because my country is not running, and I'm going to show him I'm so bright. So that was, you know, you're 23, you know it all. So, but the thing is, when I went to the actual speaker session, I did ask questions. I prepared. I asked questions. I wasn't just accepting. It's not a matter of not respecting the person, but you must always question. You know? Challenge. That's a part of what we do as women sometimes, be able to see things differently and challenge. But challenge respectfully, so we're not seen as too aggressive, you know, too bossy. Because that would block the listening of you as well. And so he noted. And afterwards in the car park, when I was walking him down, I had not met this man before, okay? He said, let's keep in touch, you know? And I would ask him questions, shoot him emails, and I'd respond quickly when he responded to me. I wouldn't write long emails about like personal drama in life. I was very pointed about what I wanted and what I wanted to know about. And let me tell you, over the last 14 years, this gentleman gave me an opportunity, I mean so many opportunities, where he stood for me. And amazingly, at age 30, I was his campaign manager. We didn't win that election. But it was a great learning experience. Imagine traversing this country in this politics, which is at varying levels of evolution. Let's call it that. Eye-opening, but it also reinforced commitment to making a difference systemically. Now, if I didn't have that opportunity, I didn't listen and reciprocate, not with money, but with my own time, my own ideas, to keep him thinking as well, then I would have missed that itself. So I hope in my story, my on-plan mentors, you get two things: the listening for the message and building relationship. Not just saying, can you be my mentor, but building and having it emerge and recognize it. So, I wanted to just leave you with 3 tips. I've distilled so far, not a wise old woman yet, sorry, not a wise elder woman as yet, but today I've distilled, I think, 3 steps to unearthing or identifying potential, impactful, on-plan mentors. So step 1, in order to know who the ideal mentors are for you, you have to know yourself. You have to know what is your vision, what's your passion, what really turns you on. You know, you're gonna stay up and just keep going even when your body feels tired. You know, what gets you up in the morning excited? If you're not there yet, what's that vision for yourself in 5 or 10 years? Because when you know yourself like that, and you know where other people who are potential mentors can fit in and support. Otherwise, when you ask a random person, can you be my mentor? For what purpose? You know? So we have to do some inner work first. Having done the inner work, it then tells you, as I recommend to you, identify the most inspiring people who are in your life now. Look around you. Look around your own community. And say, who really inspires me? But think about people also who are a bit ahead of where you want to get to, from where you are now and on the path that you want to get to. Look at how they do their work. Maybe it's not the same industry, but it's how they go about the work that they do, how they interact with people. Look at that. And then don't just go and ask them, can you be my mentor? In fact, ask a particular question, specific to what they are doing and to what you know in advance you and your vision. So it's a purposeful interaction. And then, if they respond, then you can build. You know what I mean? Because that's where the chemistry can be initiated. But look in your inner circle first. And then, let's imagine that you don't have, next slide please. Thank you. Imagine that, let's say that inspiring people, you know, in your life, or you don't actually have those persons. Because some people's lives don't necessarily, you know, don't have an abundance of inspiring people who you would go to. Suppose there is somebody else you want to go to. Or having outlined your vision, having really thought about what you want, identify other people who you think are inspiring, other persons who have walked the path you think you actually want to walk, but don't just go and ask them directly. Begin to look at how you can offer value to them. In this world of technology, many people today who are leaders, who are successful, are in social media. So you can follow them on Twitter. You can be a friend on Facebook eventually, and most times people say yes anyway. And in looking at what they're doing, what their cause is, what their own passion is, what their thing is, see how you can support that. If the person is into technology like Melanie, then send her articles about the latest thing, so she knows that you're interested in this area and are thinking and are innovating. And that may then trigger a conversation. If your thing is around fashion and being a designer, then engage persons that way, but not necessarily to ask, but to build connection. The key thing for me, I realized as a mentor or a mentee, unplanned mentee, was that it was in how I engaged, not in a planned way, but in a giving back kind of a way to my unplanned mentors. That's where we formed relationships that were mutually beneficial. And that's where the juice is, that's where the magic is. And so, I want you to think about your vision for yourself. Those people in your life who are really inspiring. Those people in the wider society who are inspiring, that fit where you want to go. And think about how you can build over time so that the unplanned mentor becomes your solid sponsor. Thank you so much.